I am COVID-19.
Well, that aged like milk.
But the thing that I was going to ask, does anyone truly know what a kin is? Like, you know, Kitty. You know what I'm talking about. Everyone has an idea of what a kin is, but no one's ever sure. They're like, I think it's a character that you heavily relate to, but no one's ever, it is this. Everyone's sort of the consensus that it's a character that you heavily relate to, be it plot-wise, personality-wise, or otherwise. But no one's ever sure. No one's definite. No one says, I know what a kin is. A kin is this. Everyone's like, I think it's this. I'm not sure. Google it. Urban Dictionary. No one knows. So does it actually exist?
Honestly, I don't know what this rant was, but it was in my files for this video, so it's getting put into this fucking video. Hello everybody, my name is Brooklyn, otherwise known as the Dramatic Otaku, and welcome, finally, to my Waluigi cosplay build! Yes, you finally get to see the process of making this beautiful bastard that you guys helped me make by donating on Ko-Fi. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the person who donated via Ko-Fi. I am making the executive decision to not put your name in this video, because I don't know if you want your name in this video, but in future, if you donate to my Ko-Fi, your names will be put at the ends of videos that you've helped fund. So yeah, to the person who donated, thank you, I love you, you are amazing. I won't put your name just for privacy reasons, because I don't know if you want your name to be on screen or not, but yes, so let's get into building this beautiful bastard that is Waluigi. So jumping right into it, I used the exact same pattern that I did for my Sailor Jupiter cosplay, plugging this video here. If you want to see how I made the bodysuit, do that, go watch that. Oh, except when I cut out the pieces for it, I cut them out the wrong fucking way. And by that, I mean I cut out the wrong colors. I essentially cut up these two pieces, then proceeded to realize that they were the wrong way around, and Waluigi's shirt was purple with his overalls, which were black. So I fucked up there and needed to cut out purple pieces in the same shape that I cut out the original black pieces. You see, I cut out this black fabric that was spare fabric from my first dress that I ever made, and I cut out this extra stretchy purple fabric that was secondhand from my aunt, which influenced this entire fucking video, but I don't have footage of me actually showing off the fabric. Now, I did that simply by just overlaying the already cut black fabric onto some folded over purple fabric and reusing the pieces that I already used for the purple bodysuit and cutting out of that. Then, with this other purple fabric that I had that is faux fur, I decided, you know what, we're gonna make leg warmers with this. Is it a completely different purple? Yes, but will it look fucking hot? Absolutely. So we do that. We just cut out rectangles because that's the best pattern making method for me, baby. Rectangles. Anything that's not a rectangle, I clearly didn't make the fucking pattern, okay? Now, that being said, we go over to our laptop and we fucking buy some black fabric. Now, I didn't plan for that because I was just going to use recycled fabrics until I cut out the wrong fucking pieces. So, over to Spotlight I went and bought a bunch of random shit. Now, this was partially crowdfunded by you guys. This was also done with the help of a Spotlight gift card that I obtained by being mentally ill and participating in a study. Yay, mental illness. From that, I had about $60. So we have, from this Spotlight haul, we have black cotton lycra, or sorry, black spandex cotton, whatever blend it was. It's stretchy, it's cotton, and it's black. Then we have a bunch of fat quartz, because I fucking can't walk past that display in Spotlight apparently without getting myself some fat quartz. Then of course, as I learned with the last cosplay, I need to get myself some snaps. But this time, they're black, not white. How interesting. Then also getting myself some bias tape that I didn't really end up using, as well as some purple cotton because I really wanted some. So let's get into crafting this cosplay. We're gonna start by cutting out the fucking pieces of the black cotton lycra because I don't have black pieces yet for the cosplay. Oh, also I made these cool embroidered Waluigi things because my mom recently got an embroidery machine, so I used it. I made 2 of them because I fucked up the first one and the second one's the good one. We'll be using those on a hat, which we will get to not in this video. Now, as I mentioned, we'll be starting the exact same way that the Sailor Moon or Sailor Jupiter bodysuit did, by sewing together all of the body pieces, this being the main body, to each other, front and back, and then joining the front and back together. So we'll just go to my little progress confessional that happened afterwards.
Okay, so this is what I have so far. And I've tried it on shit. There is some of the, you can't really see it on camera, but in real life you can see some of the threads. It's more prevalent on this side. I keep pulling this down because it's meant to go down, but obviously nothing's been like connected and shit, so. But yeah, so far for the top of it, it's pretty good. Up here, I need to like do all the hemming because there's like unseemly bits. I accidentally did the wrong section, like the inside of this is supposed to be on the front and I sewed it inside out, so it's like, whoops. But to be quite honest, I actually kind of like it more like this. It's a little more matte fabric than shiny, which is this side. This side's really, really shiny. I don't know if it's visible. But yeah, if I pull this down a little more and then pull it down to where it's sort of supposed to be, you can kind of get an idea of what's supposed to be happening. Gonna put short sleeves. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do the like strap things. Like, I know how, but now looking at it on me, it's sort of like, how'd I do that? But I can fix that with, what's it called? Once I've got like sewed all this together and all that. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is work on the hem for this to make it all fold in, which it will look a little unseemly down here. That's the only thing I'm worried about. So I'm considering like putting bias binding around here. But the thing is, like, I have to figure out what bias binding. It's a little iffy right here. It's on the same, okay, it's the same for both sides, so that's fine. But yes, gonna work on hem and putting elastic and putting these bits together. Otherwise, it should be fine. So let's go into the next part.
I sewed in the interfacing for the crotch, as well as adding the elastic for the legs. Now this is where things get a little bit messy because I did want to use the bias binding that I had purchased. However, it wasn't the same color as the bodysuit itself, so I ended up going with some fabric that was, or just some spare fabric that was made out of the cotton lycra. Next, we are shaking things up a bit, taking my random rectangles of faux purple fur. We are making leg warmers, yes. So what I did was I took the big pieces of leg warmer, and initially I'd pinned it around my leg because I was going to say, okay, we're going to make it skin tight, and then that didn't work. So what I really did was just stretched some elastic that was the size of my leg, put it around my leg again, pinned where the elastic sort of finished, going a little bit over because the elastic was slightly too short, then pinning the two edges in place and sewing over where I thought was the perfect fit, and I did that both times.
Okay, so I've not yet put on the snaps, so I've put this here because this needs to be reduced, so it folds like that instead. It is a little chunky, that's why I'm doing that. I'm also, because I've accidentally put too much fabric here compared to like this side, which is like really nice and neat, I think what I might do is I might put like a little peplum thing around the back of this, and just see how that sort of looks. I'm going to sew it separately onto a separate thing completely, and then see how it will look around the back of this. And then if I'll pin it, I'll put it on the doll and pin it, and then see how it looks like that. And then, yeah, we'll go from there.
And here is where we add snaps. Moving on. Next was to make the sleeves. Now, I will be honest, I made far superior sleeves this time as compared to the time before. So, very, very happy about that. Mainly because A, they didn't need extra grooves in them because I wasn't, you know, making a sailor soldier suit. 2, this is a much thinner stretch material that I was given secondhand, so it was a lot simpler to rest by my shoulders. So yeah, let's move on to my next confessional.
I finished the bodysuit. I do need to adjust the, what's it called down here? The snaps a little bit, just cause it's not sitting pretty. But for the most part, it's completely done, and I really like it so far. And it looks good. It looks very good. I'm very, very, very happy. Now it's the time to make all the extra things that go along with it. Like a face mask. I want to make it decent enough that like I can use the face mask, so I have to like layer it properly. And I'm going to hand sew that. Then, I don't know what else. Hat. I am actually currently debating whether or not to buy a hat or just to like make it, because I want to make it, but at this point in time I don't have enough fabric to physically make the hat. That's my current issue. So I might buy the hat. I've also discovered all of the purples are completely different purples. Like, so we're working with this thus far. I'm gonna just do a flourish of different purples, and it looks good thus far. And again, I just need to fix the clips and we'll be all good to go.
Now we move on to the, it's not bustier, it's not buttress, bustle! We move on to the bustle. Now this was a last minute thing that I didn't actually plan, as you can see in the plan itself. So I didn't have any black fabric that could suit it. That's when Mum suggested I use this shiny material that she just had. So I ended up using that, and I used my worst enemy, Poly Pop, which is a really cheap polyester material that I hate working with. I used it for my Sailor Jupiter skirt and had a time, so very worried to use it in this build, but I'm not using it for a lot. I'm just using it for layers, and I'm gonna gather it, so it is simple enough. Speaking of gathering, let's move on to that gathering phase. We're gonna sew 2 lines on the longest stitch length, and I forget the exact stitch name, but on the longest stitch length, and then you're gonna pull it till it gathers. Make sure to be careful with this so that it does not, you know, break and you lose all your gathering. Now, I have no clue why I didn't include this, but I made a belt out of the extra cotton spandex. I know I'm switching between spandex and lycra. I think it's cotton spandex, but the other fabric I used was cotton lycra, so shut the fuck up. Yes, so I gathered it pinned it to this belt that I made exactly to my measurements, and because it's a stretch material, I could use it as a decent enough belt and it would obviously blend into the body fabric, so it's all good. But I pinned it to the actual doll itself, cutting it to the length that I think it would fit, making sure there is space for a hem to be left, and then obviously sewing it to the waistband and hemming it to the right length. Next confessional.
Okay, let's see. Oh, she's poking up. Looks kind of cute. So this is how it looks thus far. I'm going to be putting stars all along bustle. I think it looks pretty cute. Gives a little bit of extra poof on the side. It probably could have come further around, but the purpose of it was to hide parts of this here that are predominantly around here. I think it does its job.
Now, I don't know if I mentioned it, but these lovely little rhinestones that my cat is trying to eat, you guys helped pay for. Yes, without you guys, I wouldn't have had this, these lovely little rhinestones that I think absolutely fucking elevate the cosplay and the bustle. Speaking of, we're gonna put them on and hot glue them on to the bustle. I think they look super cute. They look kind of like the stars, obviously, that you get in Mario. So, it's the perfect thing for this fucking cosplay. Now we move on to the decor items, starting with the suspenders. Now, I am purposely making these a little bit longer so that I can pose with them and take them off. Or not take them off, but like take them off my shoulders. And do really cool poses as Waluigi with them. First thing we do is we cut out the lengths, pin them down, and iron them. Now I have to use a piece of paper so the spandex element of the cotton spandex does not melt. So yeah, we do that. Then we sew down the line of pinning. That's the word I was looking for, pinning. Before going back to the ironing board and ironing it flat again, this time on the seam. Before that though, you do have to turn them inside out with a chopstick or with whatever long item that you have. Then you iron them. Next is actually pinning them to the outfit itself. Now, there was a little bit of give and take as this lovely specimen is a lot smaller than me. Stephanie, my regular sewing doll, is slightly smaller than me, but I can easily change her measurements. I can't so easily do that on a given doll. So actually pinning the suspenders on, I thought they were going to be tighter than they are. So yeah, that's why you see me rearranging the suspenders a couple of times. But moving away from the suspenders, because obviously we sew those in. I believe I hand sewed those in. I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter because the stitching is going to be covered, at least on the front, with buttons that we are hand making because I can't find big enough buttons for this fucking cosplay. So I made 2 big buttons out of polymer clay. I did a pattern out of construction paper before using the polymer clay and, well, first of all mixing it together because I didn't have the right kind of yellow, but I had yellow and white, so easily made the right kind of yellow. Then molding it into a button that was big enough for this cosplay and cartoony enough for Waluigi. My cat is in my way, so I can't record this section properly, so if I'm getting closer and further away from the microphone, it's because I'm trying to put my phone either side of her and she keeps fucking moving. Yes, we cooked the buttons. Then once the buttons are cooked, we hand stitched them to the cosplay. Now I didn't have yellow thread, so I used mint green, so they do kind of show up on the cosplay, but the buttons are so yellow that you can't really tell unless you look at them. The thing is, I'm trying to enter this into a cosplay competition, and they will definitely notice.
Okay, so I have to hot glue the buttons to the actual straps properly. I have sewed them through, but I thought it'd be good to do that. I have purposely done this so I can take off the suspenders if need be, so I can do something like this. Something like that, I don't know. So it is purposely supposed to be like falling off, so I can like play with it in poses, go like that, stuff like that. So yeah, this is super cool. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It looks so cute. Now I have to try and find my fishnets. I have to try and find my fishnets now. I don't know where they've gone. Oh dear. But yes, I'm gonna... These are quite sturdy where they are. So I can probably... I might hot glue this up a little bit. This one seems to be fine. But yeah, this one I'm gonna hot glue under a little bit and then be good. I do also have to note that all the other pieces are sort of constructed together from things that I found around my house. The shoes I already owned and used for poison ivy in the past and will use in the future. The hat I thrifted and is from a previous video. The gloves are from my Sailor Moon cosplay, and I will say I got the choker, fishnets, and the skin tone tights that are underneath all from Shein, mainly because my actual fishnets went missing in the process of me building this cosplay. I do not know to this day where the fuck they disappeared to, but they disappeared and are missing for good. So I need to get some cheap tights, so I got them off Shein. Also because you will find out why in a minute. And I got these tights, which are supposed to be good fleece line tights. They're good for the 2 times that I wore them. They now have a massive fucking hole in the crotch for no goddamn reason. Love that. The choker is also from Shein. It was a purple fucking choker. I couldn't turn that up. But other than that, that's just about it for this cosplay build. Yes, I have finished my Waluigi cosplay. On screen now is the finished product. Fuck yeah. So yes, don't look at the hat. I stole the hat from the green fuck. Okay, so let me explain what happened with the fucking hat. So as you know in a previous video, I thrifted this because my mum found it. But I was originally going to sew the hat. Then I realized I don't have enough of the same fabric to sew the fucking hat. Now I could do patchwork like this, but the fabric I had was a mixture of different stretches, was a mixture of different textures, and was a mixture of different tones. Now I could have played that off because all of the purples in my actual cosplay are a mixture of different tones, but as I said, they're a mixture of different stretches as well. That probably wouldn't have gone well with this, plus I needed to make a lining in it outside, so having all these different fabrics would have been very confusing for myself and would have sewn completely differently together. So that was what I had to work with, and I don't think that I'm skilled enough to make a hat like that, especially with different fabrics all being sewn together. I have made stuff with different fabrics, but it's usually stuff that I'm going to hot glue onto other stuff, like with the with my mushroom hat. A baker's cap or a newsboy cap like this is significantly more difficult to sew than a fucking mushroom hat that is predominantly hot glue and cardboard. So I was not confident in making myself a purple hat. I decided that I would get myself a Waluigi hat and just dye it a darker color to fit with my actual cosplay. However, I had a bit of a fucking fiasco. So I went onto eBay to search for a Waluigi hat, because I figured I actually genuinely cannot fucking afford a properly made hat by a cosplayer. I'll get a cheap one off of eBay, dye it a random or a darker tone of purple, because I already had made the Waluigi symbol, and this way I can just dip the entire hat in without worrying about the symbol that's already pre on the hat. So I ordered one off of eBay and I got scammed. Okay, so this fucking arrived instead of my goddamn hat. A rip-off Pokemon plushie arrived instead of the hat I fucking ordered. I am so physically angry that that happened. Like, I contacted the eBay seller going, hey, did you fucking send me this? If not, give me my money back, you prick. I sent it a lot nicer than that. They have yet to fucking respond. So I just genuine anger. So what I did was I bought a white newsboy cap from Shein because that was the cheapest place I was gonna fucking get it, and I couldn't thrift again because I was spending a lot of money in July. I have shit tons of birthdays for people to buy for. I don't have a lot of money. That's why I set up my Ko-Fi so I could get donations for my cosplay in the first place, because I couldn't afford to make the full cosplay. That's why the cosplay is like 65% recycled items and stuff I already owned. So what ended up happening was I bought cheap cap off of Shein, then bought rich dye from Spotlight. I bought the wrong fucking dye. And that's why I've got the green fucking hat here. I did, once I got paid again, get synthetic dye, but I couldn't physically go to Spotlight to get it, so I had to get it shipped to me, and it currently hasn't shipped to me before this video. And because of the fucking event that was me getting scammed out of a fucking hat that I ordered that I'm still, to this day, so fucking angry about, I'm going to be making a separate video about me dyeing the hat and giving you a guide to how to fucking dye a Waluigi cap. But as you can see, it hasn't come. I finished the cosplay and have finished the cosplay for a while, so I'm just gonna pretend that I stole this from Luigi. But yeah, so that event occurred. I did make a mask that I have put somewhere, but I wasn't gonna have it with the cosplay when doing it on the day that I took those photos, so I can't really show you that now. The full cosplay I will absolutely debut in September as I'm attending Crunchyroll Expo, and with me attending Crunchyroll Expo, it means that I'll be trying to enter into the cosplay competition, thus my entire cosplay will be finished by that time. I want to thank the amazing person who donated this cosplay. I don't know if you want your name to be in this video, so I'm just gonna leave you anonymous, but from now on, from this point on, because I didn't make it clear when I initially sported this design, from now on, if you donate to my Ko-Fi, your name will be in a video, but I don't know if that person who donated wanted their name to be in a video. Either way, thank you so fucking much. Thank you to the person who donated to the Ko-Fi, because you were able to actually contribute a lot to this cosplay. Originally, I didn't have a BUSTLE for the cosplay, but with you donating the money, I was able to get decorative stars that I was going to put onto this cosplay, and I didn't know where. I ended up putting it onto the BUSTLE of the cosplay. The stars actually helped me create the idea of the BUSTLE for my cosplay, and I absolutely adore the BUSTLE because it just uplifts the cosplay that much more. It also helps cover some seams on the back of my cosplay. So yeah, thank you so much. Without you, I wouldn't have thought of that for my cosplay. Another amazing aspect of this cosplay is that while waiting for the hat to initially come, I actually restarted my Poison Ivy cosplay. So very soon, hopefully, very soon, when I get more hot glue sticks, I will be finishing my fucking Poison Ivy cosplay. Finally! Which is another good thing about cosplay. While waiting for this one to finish, I had the urge to do more cosplay shit, so I finally fucking started finishing my Poison Ivy cosplay. And I'm actually starting a new cosplay project. This one will also be funded via Ko-Fi, so I will put the Ko-Fi link at the top of the description, or the top of my links in the description, as I'm doing you know what? No, I won't tell you like this. I'm going to insert the start, the introduction, let's say, cosplay video that I have started to make. So, that being said, take it away past me, ironically. In fact, I will be making a City Pop Hatsune Miku today, and I'm very, very excited to do. So version 4 is this Showa era / early Heisei era, 80s to 90s City Pop inspired Hatsune Miku. The outfit design that I want to use is heavily inspired by the fashion of the 80s pop idol Chisato Moritaka and possibly that of Seiko Matsuda. Yes, I am starting a Hatsune Miku 80s City Pop fucking cosplay. I'm starting an 80s City Pop Hatsune Miku cosplay, and I am so very fucking excited to do it. I have also put up a new goal on Ko-Fi because of it. Now, I do have a majority of, if you will, of the materials I need for the Hatsune Miku cosplay. However, with the amount that I've actually had to spend on this cosplay, without realizing that I needed to spend the money for the cosplay, I have put a new goal up on Ko-Fi with a bigger goal than I did for the Waluigi cosplay. That being said, I do have a majority of the materials I need for this Hatsune Miku cosplay, except for a wig. Yeah, I'm being ambitious and starting a cosplay without the wig. Everything else I have. And I will also be filming the process and taking photos of the thing, and the photos will be going up on Ko-Fi before going anywhere else. So if you want your name in the end of some of these videos, especially the cosplay videos, as well as being able to see the cosplay videos, or sorry, cosplay photos before anybody else, then please donate to the Ko-Fi. But you absolutely do not have to. Watching these videos, liking and subscribing is enough. And if you could, please like and subscribe so I can reach 100,000? That's a little bit ambitious. 1,000 subscribers, then that would be much appreciated. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, huge thank you to the person who donated to my Ko-Fi to make this absolute spectacle of a being. I will be putting Waluigi in a couple more of my videos. Majority of the next couple of videos may be in this cosplay. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more of this cosplay, please like and subscribe. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, weekend. Why the fuck do I always say weekend? Afternoon. And I will see you guys next week. I upload every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard, occasionally at Friday, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard, and I hope to see you next week. Bye. Wah! Did I really just go wah?